I hope my voice is okay. I'm like sick. Ugh. It's just that season. Like it's getting really, really cold outside. It's like 20 degrees where I am right now, and I'm not used to it. I'm from Florida. I don't like it. And I'm sneezy and my nose is all stuffy. So hopefully I won't sneeze during this video. We'll see. Hey guys, it's Sarah, and I wanted to talk today about my 2016 reading goals. So those are all the goals that I set myself for this year and tell you how I did. I know the month is not completely over yet, but I'm really at a point where I can pretty much guess what's going to be happening for the rest of the month, which is only 2 more weeks. So I just wanted to tell you how I did and kind of revisit those goals. I don't think I'm going to be going in any particular order here. I just have my goals written down. So I'm just going to kind of go in order of what I wrote down here. But my first goal was that my Goodreads goal was going to be 60 books for the year, and I definitely surpassed that. I believe as of right now, I'm at 75. And I'm hoping to get a couple more in these next 2 weeks. So definitely blew that one out of the water. So my big focus this year was going to be on series, and I wanted to finish or catch up on at least 10 series. So those are series that I have already started or I'm in the middle of, or I had one more book to read, and I wanted to try to get to a point where I couldn't read anymore from that series because it was either done or I was caught up and there were no more new releases. And I did not include any new series that I started this year, so it was all stuff that I have previously read. Does that make sense? So I wanted to finish or catch up on 10, and I finished or caught up on 4. So I did not meet that goal, not even halfway. So it's okay though. I'm all right with it. So let me tell you what I did. So I did finish the Dexter series by Jeff Lindsay. I only had one more book to read for that one, and I did read that one and really enjoyed it. So that series is completely done. There were 8 books total, I think, and I have read all 8 of them, so I'm good with that. Another one that I finished was the Robert Langdon series by Dan Brown. However, now I find out there's going to be another one coming out in 2017, which I didn't know. But I did catch up on it. So as of right now, there's 4 books, and then book number 5 will be coming out next year. And that one took me a while to read, that one book. It was Inferno. But I ended up enjoying it, and I'm excited to see the movie, most definitely. So that is one that I thought I had finished, but I actually just caught up on it. And then 2 more that I caught up on. One is the Shopaholic series by Sophie Kinsella. I had to read 2 of those to catch up, so I read those 2 books. I think they were books number 7 and 8. So I caught up on that one. And again, those are just really fun, quick reads, and I enjoyed both of them. They're nothing like spectacular, they're just funny. And then the last one that I caught up on was The Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I had read the first book last year and really enjoyed it. And then this year I read the newer release, A Court of Mist and Fury, and absolutely loved it. It's one of my favorites this year. And I am excited for the next one to come out. I think this is going to be a trilogy. So the one that comes out, I believe, in May, which is A Court of Wings and Fury. I'm pretty sure that's the name that just got released. So I will be excited to pick that up in May and then finish out that trilogy. And then I also wanted to start 5 new series, and that one I actually met and surpassed. I think I started 6 new series, maybe 6.5. I'll explain the half here at the end. But I just wanted to give some new series a try and see what I thought, especially the ones that are being super hyped up. So I started the Miss Peregrine's trilogy by Ransom Riggs. I read the first book, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and I really liked it, and I am definitely going to finish the trilogy. I just haven't picked up the second book yet, but that one I really did enjoy. I also started the Selection series by Kiera Cass and absolutely loved it. I do have one more book to read for that one. I have the last one, which is actually pretty short. And then there's some novellas, like a little novella bind up that I'll probably pick up as well, just to kind of get a little bit more backstory on some of the characters. But that is one that I really have enjoyed too. And that was definitely a guilty pleasure type book because they're not amazing books. They're just kind of, they're fun, they're fast. It's basically The Bachelor in a dystopian society. And it was just a lot of fun. I had fun reading them. I also started the Snow Like Ashes trilogy by Sarah Rash, and I read the first one, which is Snow Like Ashes, and then there are 2 other ones out as well, which I have not picked up yet, but I would like to. That is a dystopian series that bases on the elements or the weathers, the 4 different seasons of weather. That's what I'm trying to say. So like summer, spring, winter, fall. And some of their societies are kind of clashing and trying to take each other over, and it was a good one. It wasn't like mind-blowing, but I enjoyed it enough that I want to keep going. I also read the first book in the Raven cycle by Maggie Stiefvater, which was The Raven Boys, and this one was just okay for me. I want to give the second book a read and see how that one is, because a lot of people seem to like the second book a lot, and I just found myself a little confused through most of it, and I wasn't really quite sure what was going on and what was important and what their mission was. I did like a lot of the characters, but it was just, I don't know. I wasn't understanding the hype around the first book. So we'll see. I do want to continue and give the second book a try and see how I feel about that one. And probably after that, I'll make my decision on whether or not I want to keep going, because there are 4 books in the series. But we'll see. And I read the first book in the Queen of the Tearling series by Erica Johansson, which is Queen of the Tearling, and there are 2 other books out for this one as well, so it's a trilogy, and I really, really enjoyed it. I really liked this one a lot. It was very political, and it kind of reminded me a little bit about Sleeping Beauty, where the princess was hidden at birth because there was a threat made against her. So she was hidden in isolation, and then when she turns 18, she's coming back to her kingdom to rule it. So I really, really enjoyed it. Just a lot of kind of mystery on who's who and who's okay and who's not. And she's trying to learn that stuff too. And you're kind of seeing her take over this throne for a land she's never lived in before. So it was very interesting, and I really enjoyed it. So I definitely want to finish out that trilogy. And I also started the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb, and the first one was called The Assassin's Apprentice, and I really enjoyed it. It took me a while to get through this book because it's an epic fantasy for adults and it's very dense. So it really, I was taking my time with it, and I kind of had to absorb it and just, you know, okay, here's what's going on, here's what's going on, here's what's going on. But I really did like it. I really liked it a lot, and I definitely want to continue and read more Robin Hobb. I do have that full trilogy along with the second trilogy that comes after that. So I definitely want to get back to those soon because I really enjoyed it, and I don't want to forget what happens in the first one. So I want to move on to the second one soon before that goes away. The half is the Mortal Instrument series, and I'm counting it as a half because I am reading the first book in that, which is City of Bones, but I have read it before. I read it 3 years ago, I believe, and so I'm rereading it right now just to kind of refresh my memory. And even rereading it now, I am reading about characters that I had completely forgotten about that were pretty important to the story. So, you know, 3 years after reading a book and reading probably a good 200 books in between there, you know, you do lose some of that memory. So I am really enjoying it again though, and remembering some things as I'm reading it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I remember that. And I'm excited to go on to the next one. So technically I'm starting it, but technically I've already started it. So it's kind of a little weird in between things. So I'm just going to count it for here. Another goal I had was to try 12 new authors. So I was going to try 1 new author a month that's a new to me author. And this one I did not do good. I think I read 4. Let me see. 5. I got 5. So I had this list in my planner of authors that I wanted to give a try this year. So the ones that I did, I read 1 book from each of these authors this year, which was Patrick Ness, Sarah Dessen, Colleen Hoover, Robin Hobb, and Alexandra Bracken. So the ones I did not get to were Jennifer L. Armentrout, Taryn Fisher, Libba Bray, Kristen Hanna, Joe Hill, Ellen Hopkins, and Terry Pratchett. So those are authors I have not read anything from yet, even though I own at least 1 book by all of them. So yeah, we'll see. But that one I didn't do so well on. I really wanted to try to do 1 per month, but like I said, it just didn't happen. A few things got in the way. A lot of review books got in the way because I really this year started getting review books from publishers. And so when I get those, obviously those are going to take a priority because I want to continue getting free books from publishers. So that definitely, I think, made a big difference in it. And then, you know, sometimes things just came up that I really wanted to read, and so I put everything else on hold. I also wanted to read one faith-based book every quarter, so every 3 months. And I did that. I didn't exactly read them every 3 months, but I did read 4 this year, and that was my ultimate goal, so I'm going to count that. I ended up reading Hope Unfolding by Becky Thompson. I also read With My Eyes Wide Open by Brian Head Welsh, and then I read The Broken Way by Anne Voskamp, and I read Shaken by Tim Tebow. And then another goal I have written down here is to read 3 owned books before I can buy one. That didn't happen. No. I also had a goal that I made sometime during the year, actually. I think it was towards the beginning of the year, but I have all of my books that I own on a spreadsheet in Excel. So I have different columns. I have columns of books that I own that I have read. I have a column for books that I own that I haven't read. So when I started, I had 44 books in my read column. So 44 books that are on my shelves or on my Kindle that I have read and I own them. And I wanted to double that at least. So I decided to I wanted to do like half of my goal for Goodreads. So my goal was 60. So I decided to add 30 on there, which came out to like 74, but I just went up a little bit and wanted to do 80. So my ultimate goal was to have 80 books in my read column. So books that I read and own. And I definitely surpassed that. I now have 110 on there. So I read a whole bunch, and it made me really, really happy to have that done. Just know that I'm reading what I own. And that's it, guys. So I think I did pretty well. I definitely didn't do as well on my series as I wanted to. I kind of let other things take a little bit of a priority over that. But overall, I think I did pretty good. I'm probably 50-50 in my goals and how I met them. But overall, I'm really, really happy with what I read this year. I think I had a really, really good reading year. I read some really amazing books. And a few I could have done without, but that's going to happen when you read as much as I do. You're not going to love all of them. But I am really, really proud of myself for meeting some of these goals. All right, guys, that's it for me today. So please leave me a comment down below. Let me know what kind of goals you guys had set yourself for this year and how you did on them. And I'm going to be back later this week with my 2017 goals because I have those all planned out now. All right, hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you again soon. Bye.